Oh, wrong button. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Guys Who Trusted a Drink. It is Monday. We did it. We made it. You're here. If you're not here yet, get here. I don't know if you're not here, you wouldn't hear me say that. But maybe
out in the ether.
Yeah, we'll throw it out there. Maybe you'll feel it in the bones. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. David with the first. Maggie with the second. And Michael with the new haircut. Or Michael that needs a haircut. We don't know
my
yet.
hair is not cooperating, so this is where it's going. And soon I'll have it covered, so that it's all good. Hello, everybody. So glad to see everybody here. Michael with the hairstyle forward.
Give us a hair whip, Michael.
Like that.
Oh yeah. I could never do that. Never had enough hair.
Going nuts. Oh yeah.
Nope. Never.
You try it with your beard?
Never once. I don't even have enough beard hair.
Down.
I don't know. Yeah. I gotta get that white. That.
Gotta get the
Down.
Osama bin Laden link.
Yeah, down to the chest. I don't know if I would be able to keep a beard that long.
I couldn't.
No.
When I had a beard that was like down to here, I was like, I hate this.
Yeah, it gets a little much. Welcome in, everybody. Michael, how goes it?
Goes pretty well. How was your week? Anything fun?
I went putt-putt for my nephew's birthday on last Monday, but I think we talked about that because I did it right before podcast. And then the rest of the week was just working, but we were working pretty close to home. So,
that's awesome.
That would be, or that is good. The job, however, is a pain in the butt, but it is close to home. So it's not a pain in the butt and far away. So it would be doubly bad if that were the case.
Mm-hmm.
However, hopefully, this weekend, going to the beach, going on a little vacay.
Oh, very nice, dude.
Little trip.
Which beach? Or if you don't feel comfortable saying, what state?
I'm going to the Gulf of America.
Okay, there you go.
To Florida. It's in near Destin. That spot.
Destin.
Well, I don't know where it is. It's beach. It's the beach.
For sure.
So that'll be good.
Very fun.
That'll start Thursday.
Yeah,
so excited about that.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Just going with family?
Yeah, just me and Maggie for our it's our 1 year anniversary trip.
Oh, let's go. That's fantastic.
Yeah, so it'll be a good.
Congratulations.
Time. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Very fun.
Absolutely.
How long's that trip?
Thursday to Sunday.
Not too long? No, I meant like drive-wise.
5 hours ish.
Okay, not too bad.
6 hours?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. There you go.
Probably
nothing you can't handle.
No, not it's a very short drive in comparison to some drives that I've had. Not far at all. I'm wondering, should we just jump straight into tinfoil hats and conspiracy, or we haven't played
Guess
the games in a second.
Yeah, it's whatever, man. I know with the movie, I think Kevin said he wasn't going to be on.
Sure.
To watch the review, so like we can kind of do that whenever.
We can run that one whenever. Do you?
Yeah,
so this episode, we're going to try and focus on conspiracy theories. Do you have a couple that you have prepared? And I use prepared loosely because if I hold you to a high standard of preparedness, then I also have to be prepared, which I've done more preparedness than I normally do. But that is
very fun.
That's not saying much because normally I do nothing, and then I've done a little bit of research. Sure. But not like
very fun.
It's enough research to tell you what the conspiracy theory is, and then I just want to talk about what I think about it, I don't actually have. I guess like the whole point of a conspiracy theory is that you can't really like. It's not like there's no proof, but also, well, there's proof, but like conspiratorially,
it's going against what is
being
like,
told,
put out there.
Sure,
yeah,
it's counter truth. Let's see. Why not? Maybe we'll jump into the guess the games at the end. Sure. Let's before that way so that we don't have to take a break mid talk about conspiracies. Let's jump into the movie.
Sure.
Talk about that first, get that out of the way, and then we'll move full swing into conspiracies. Yeah.
Too bad the movie
wasn't
like a conspiracy.
Yeah.
Movie.
Our planning department, our planning team isn't that organized yet. But this week's movie was Boy Kills World. It came out in 2024, which surprised me. I was not. Oh, excuse me. I wasn't. Most of the movies that we get are not new movies.
No.
But this one was a newish movie, suggested by Kevin, and it is about a kid. Or it's like what would you call the world that they're in? It's a
dystopian.
Yeah, dystopian world where there is a hierarchy or not even a hierarchy. There's just one family that like kind of runs the whole place, and they do a culling every year, or it seemed more often than a year, or is it just once a year? I can't remember.
I think they said once a year, but I don't know.
Yeah,
for sure. They didn't linger on that very much.
Yeah, it wasn't a big focal point. But anyway, there's a culling, which means they just go and shoot people, kill people for whatever reason. But there's a child who is trained as an assassin type beat, a weapon, if you will, to remove the lady in charge of the whole thing. It's like an action adventure, is it action adventure or just action?
I think technically it's action adventure, also dark comedy.
Yes.
I wouldn't say fantasy because it's like futuristic.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say it's adventure.
Sure.
I think adventure is pretty broad.
It definitely has a wide shadow that
umbrella,
things can fall under.
Yeah.
But in this movie, the main character is mute, but is narrated / like, I guess. Wow. I don't know.
Hey, bro.
It's narrated like his thoughts are narrated. But they're narrated by the guy who does Bob's Burgers. And I didn't realize that until Maggie looked it up, and she was like, "Oh, this is the guy who does Bob from Bob's Burgers." And then the entire movie, all I could hear was Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, that's funny.
So that part made it. I wasn't sure if it was gonna be like a comedy, because I don't look up anything for it. So I started it, and I was like, "Nah, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a comedy." Like it kind of right off the bat, it was a little bit. It was like not funny, but then there was like funny bits, because it starts off pretty serious, with like an execution and all that stuff. But it was
played for like extenuating or showing the humor in the situation,
right?
Yeah,
and the it's a very like kind of what's a movie that you could compare it to? It's not necessarily John Wick.
Action or like theme.
Well, I mean, like, it's kind of John Wickish, but not as cool, not as polished.
Yeah. It's like a YouTube version of John Wick.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily mean that completely as an insult.
Like an indie John Wick.
Yeah.
But I mean, I didn't not like it. It was it checks the box for like action adventure. I mean, you get the very, not really any like twists or turns, except for right at the end, which was a good, like, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that twist, because without it, it would have just been like a cookie cutter, like this movie is bad guy, good guy, kill bad guy.
Right. Yeah.
Or like good guy get trained by good guy in woods and then go, take out bad guy. But I don't know if we should do like any spoilers for this movie, because it is so new-ish.
Yeah, I think we can get around the spoilers if we just talk about like other stuff.
Sure, go for it.
Because like there's a twist ending, and if you're interested to see this movie, go for it. I agree with you. I didn't hate this movie. I did not like it. It was pretty predictable. But at the same time, you're not going to see that movie for the story, really.
Yeah.
The camera, the way the camera moved was really fun.
It was
very, it was very, I keep saying like YouTube-y, but like the golden age of YouTube with like rocket jump and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's what it reminded me of a very high dollar version of that.
What? Who was that YouTube place or that YouTube channel? Raka Raka?
Raka Raka.
Do you know what I'm talking about? They do like they did the Ronald McDonald who like crashes out.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah,
you've for sure seen. It's
I've
like,
seen their
and they're
videos.
like high quality, like action fighting, like beating each other up type thing. It felt very similar to that. Like,
yeah,
and like you said, it feels very YouTube, but not in a bad way. Like in a solid YouTube way. There were
like the toppest dollar YouTube movie I've ever seen.
Lots of dollars in this YouTube video. It was, I mean, the fighting, not as clean as it could have been. There was a lot of like, you could see like a lot of places where you could see like a lot of free real estate between where the person's appendage should have hit the other person, but it didn't. But they took the hit, kind of a thing. Yeah. I did notice that in almost every fighting scene. I
wrote down a thing talking about fighting. It was like an 80-20 rule for me. Like 80% of it was very passable.
Yeah.
And 10% of that was like just amazingly well done, well shot, well choreographed. But 20% of it was like really bad.
Yeah. And I wonder how much of that was on purpose, because like it is a comedy movie. Maybe they were like, make this one not very good. However, I don't think that was what they were shooting for in the film.
I don't know.
Maybe
if they were shooting for it, that's definitely a possibility.
They got it really good.
They did a great job. Yeah, I think that's like, that would be like satirizing the genre. Yeah, and I don't think it was doing that. I think what this reminded me of was like almost an audition tape for editors and directors and choreographers. Like, it was just them showing off their stuff.
Sure.
As opposed to like crazy good writing or crazy good acting.
Yeah.
Because the editing was really good. I thought it was funny how much they didn't show.
Yeah.
Because they were just chose not to show it. They just implemented sound effects and camera angles, and then they, would cut from like a reaction to the injury. It was fun. But like I think the more I thought about it, the more it was like that 80-20 rule with like everything. It was very passable, very good in some parts, and then just some parts I'm like, okay, why is that in the movie?
There's just no way.
Yeah.
No, I think you said it was very fun, and I think that's a great description of this movie.
Yeah.
It was fun. However, this has nothing to do with the movie, but at the very beginning, when after like the whole like training montage, and they go back into the city, and then like that girl is yelling at the guy, and he pulls out his gun and shoots her. I fell asleep in that crowd scene, and then I woke up to her yelling, and then the shooting. But I like only fell asleep. I saw the whole like training montage, them in the city, and then like dozed off for a second, and then heard a bunch of yelling, and then the shot, and I was like, oh, I'm back awake.
Gotcha.
But not because the movie was bad. I was just super tired when I was watching it.
Sure, understandable.
But it was very fun. I think the 80-20 rule very well sums up this movie, as far as like most of it was pretty good. And then other parts were like, okay, I guess,
right?
I guess so.
I'm so glad you caught that, because I was like, especially with the fighting stuff, I'm like, okay, I know that pro wrestling move, and if you know anything about physics, that doesn't work.
No, and
so like, why do we put it here?
Yeah, the bad lady that was in it with the helmet and the words on the screen. I thought was a cool concept until like she kept taking off her helmet and back on, and off her helmet and back on, and like she can talk, but also her hood, like if she was completely mute the entire time, I feel like that would have been cooler than her, like, she can talk.
Right.
So why is it her helmet that's just saying like things,
right.
Like
that's a very good point. Yeah.
Like her helmet's just like, why won't you die? And it's like, why
won't you talk?
Yeah, why didn't you just say that? But I think if they'd have made her mute, I think that would have been better for her character, I guess. Sure. Or maybe they should have just kept it as like eyeballs, and then the expression of the eyeballs changes. I don't know. It was just weird for me that they like, she could talk but decided to like use her visor.
Whenever she was first introduced, I thought it was going to be like showing that they were almost trained by the same person, or setting something up like that, and so that she was also mute.
Yeah.
But
yeah, because she did say something about recognizing the fighting style.
Yeah. But it didn't go that way.
No.
I thought that's what they were setting up, and then she started talking, and I forgot that I thought that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was Caleb. Yeah, it's like they were like, it would be cool if her helmet said stuff, and then they were like, but also she has to talk because she has lines.
And they just wrote themselves into a wall.
Yeah.
And they're like, she has to be able to talk.
Yeah,
like, we can't do this.
Okay, we can't. It would take too long for her helmet to say all the words that we need her to say.
It's just a paragraph, one word at a time.
Yeah, and she kept glitching out, and she'd have to like fix it. Did you notice that too?
Oh yeah.
She it would like flash, and then she'd be like that, and like settle it back on her head, and it would like do that, and then she was back in the game.
See, the main character needed to take that off of her head and wear it himself.
Exactly, dude. And he
could. I bet they were gunning to set that up at some point in the writing process. And then had to get rid of it.
It might be a deleted scene somewhere.
That's like third draft type stuff that gets taken out.
It was a classic.
Yes.
Sometimes actors
Very
end up
true.
making a fuss about not being able to speak or show their face.
It's very true.
Yeah, but they could have
Notoriously-
at least saved it to the end. They did it like early movie. They like showed her and she was like, ooh, badass lady person with the cool helmet.
This had 3 writers, and I think 2 of them were rewrites. So I'm guessing it might have gotten lost in translation. Although it had 3 writers, but it had 22 producers, including I almost fell out of my chair when I was reading that, including Sam Raimi, who did the original Spider-Man movies.
Oh, okay.
And the main character, Skarsgård, he was an executive producer as well.
Huh.
I'm guessing they couldn't get big studio backing with this, which kind of makes sense.
Is this like a Netflix? This isn't like a Netflix original or something, or like
I don't
an
think so.
Amazon original. It's like an actual movie.
Yeah, I think it came out in theaters.
How funded was this movie?
Okay, that's another thing. It looks like they covered up or are trying not to make it as public on how much it cost. I read it cost anywhere from 18 million to 25 million to make.
That's not bad.
So, not bad. Really not bad.
They did not make their money back.
They did not make him back. No, they. I think. I'm not sure when the box office stops keeping track.
Yeah.
But they, as of now, they only made 3.3 million.
Ooh.
On this movie. Very sad.
Yeah.
Because
what's it?
It deserves better than that.
What's it rated on?
It's rated
like,
R.
No, on like
on IMDb.
IMDb and stuff like that. Rotten Tomatoes.
I think it was a 6, like a 6.6.
So not
6.5.
terrible.
Rotten Tomatoes was way worse. I think it was like 40 something.
Is that the box office total, Caleb Bass?
I believe so. Because theaters get half of it. Yeah. No, they did not make anywhere near as much money as they needed to.
It didn't sell good.
Which sucks because it didn't cost that much to make if it was only if it was 25 million. A lot of people were talking about how this was 6.4 on IMDb.
Okay.
A lot of people were saying, because I went around and looked at some reviews trying to find out, behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of people were talking about how they didn't hear about this movie at all.
Huh.
And I remember seeing a trailer for it, but that was it.
They shadow dropped it, and then nobody realized.
Yeah.
They were like,
don't shadow drop movies.
Yeah, you know what we should do? Shadow drop a movie and see. People will just go to the theater and watch it. Except for people don't go to theaters anymore. So I wonder if that has something to do with. Wait, do people actually go to theaters and I just don't go to theaters? So I think most people don't go to theaters, or do most people just not go to theaters anymore?
It's died. It's died a lot. And
COVID
surprisingly,
killed it.
I think COVID, it was doing better in COVID during COVID. It's doing right now. But yeah, there was a lot of people just realized, if you have a good TV and a great sound system, you don't need a theater.
No.
Like there's nothing really to go to the theater for, because you don't have those big midnight releases or stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then you're getting charged out the butt for it. And then you have to deal with people who might be annoying.
Yeah.
Which I think is... But then again, you have stuff like the Minecraft situation.
Yeah, the Minecraft movie did really well.
And mainly due to the hype or...
The memes.
I don't know about mainly the memes, but also all the destroying the theaters. I just went to go see Thunderbolts this weekend because
what's that?
That's a long story. Man, it's a Marvel movie.
It's a Marvel movie.
It's a Marvel movie.
Okay.
I was done with Marvel.
Sure.
Then I saw a scene that was a spoiler for this, and I was like, I have to go see this movie now.
Yeah.
It's crazy, and they have one of the most interesting villains, I should say, that I've seen in a long time.
So it might be worth it.
But man,
just wait for it to come out.
Hold on. We should. I don't know.
See,
because they should be rewarded.
Here's the reality of it all. I'm not. You could say this is a must see in theaters. I'm not going.
Yeah.
I'll wait.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think I wouldn't say it's a must see. It's just what I saw. I had to know the context for.
Here's a better question: is this one of the better Marvel movies they've released in a long time? Or
I would say absolutely.
Or is it within par of their current?
Man, okay, so I was watching it, and I was like, there were definitely Marvel isms that they keep putting in their movie that haven't worked since before Endgame. The kind of the quippy stuff that's like, okay, they still have some of that in there. If they didn't have it in there, I would be screaming off the rooftops that everybody should go see this movie. But it's still a Marvel movie.
One of their writers just can't get fired, apparently.
Yeah. Or it's
You should grade movies based on would you skip it, rent it, or own it. That's smart.
That's a fun idea. I think I definitely need to make a note of that.
We're adopting that right now. We'll give a number, and then we'll give it a skip it, rent it, or own it. Caleb, great idea. Yeah. You are now hired as our first employee of the Guys You Trusted to Drink.
PR guy.
PR and ideas creation. The pay is 0 and the benefits are none. So welcome to the team.
But it could be.
I'm gonna give this movie. I watched this movie. I watch the movies on Sundays. So I was already thinking about this movie yesterday, and I was feeling like 6.5 to 6.8. And now knowing that IMDb also gave it like a 6.6 or whatever it was, a 6.5, I was like, man, I'm kind of right. I was right on the money with that one as far as like IMDb ratings. And as far as skip it, rent it, or own it, I would say just rent it. There's no, I don't think there's any reason on owning this movie. But I would definitely rent it, and I did. But it was worth the $4. You know, like I would pay $4 to see that. Not again, but I would the first time for sure.
Also, I wrote it down in my notes. I would have loved this movie if I saw it when I was like 15.
Yeah,
I would have adored this movie. Fantastic amount of blood. Needed less CGI blood, but you know that's the special
effects blood on Homeboy, the main character guy, needed to be astronomically higher.
Yeah.
Because the stuff that was on him looked really bad, and I was like, he went through that entire hallway hacking people with a katana, and he's just barely he should have been completely red, in my opinion.
And I hate with the digital stuff, it splatters on people and stays there.
Yeah.
It needs to move a little bit and it needs to. Oh, man. But, man, I would give this probably in between a 6, 7, and a 7.
Yeah.
I really want to see more from everybody who worked on it. It wasn't bad for the price. Needs more attention because it didn't deserve that big of a bust. So I'm gonna say rent it.
Yeah.
I'd say rent it.
I think what Caleb said is they probably didn't have money for the marketing.
Oh yeah.
So they didn't market. But also, if you don't market, nobody knows.
Nobody's gonna see it.
Yeah. Nobody knows.
It doesn't work anymore.
Nope.
You used to be able to do that with rentals.
So thanks, Kevin, for the recommendation. What is our next movie and who suggested it?
I want to say Maggie's after Kevin.
Maggie.
But let me check.
She's gonna get excited and then my turn. Yay. I just fell to my knees in a Kmart.
It is Maggie.
Why are you in a Kmart? Where did you find a Kmart?
Are you okay, Mark? Why did you fall to your knees? Are you okay?
And guess what? We're going to be at the beach. Yes, we're going to be watching this movie at the beach.
Yes. So, yet again, I mean, I'm just going off of what was listed chronologically. Maggie, you can pick whatever movie. But the next one is Phenomenon. Yeah. I don't think I've definitely not seen this movie.
Caleb said, "When is it?"
You just had your turn.
2 weeks ago. It was you, Kevin, Maggie, and then other.
Yeah, it's Sexy Bigfoot.
Oh.
It was in between. Yeah,
So
3 weeks ago. But
3
still.
weeks ago, he said, "When is it my turn?"
Believe so, Maggie. You also have Contact, Miss Congeniality 1 and 2, Baby's Day Out. But seems like a movie my dad said.
He probably did say it, and then you put it in the Discord.
Mm-hmm.
I remember a while back we were talking, and everybody was like, "Ooh, put this one in."
Baby's Day Out. Okay. Baby's Day Out.
Baby's Day Out.
Oh boy.
Or we could do this one. Or which one? We'll just stick with Baby's Day Out.
Just ends a Rickroll.
Yeah. Never gonna give you up. If I have to watch it, I want to giggle. Yeah. All right. We'll do Baby Day Out. The
OG.
The OG.
Is the OG 50s or?
Is there 2 Baby's Day Outs? A non-OG version?
This is gonna be interesting.
BDO. Okay. Well, next week, Baby's Day Out. Watch
Baby's
it
Day Out.
if you want, or don't. But we'll be talking about it. All right. Now
I can't turn off a movie, right? I have to watch it all. No, just kidding. Just kidding. I don't know what this is. It's from '94. Oh, I'm watching it.
All right. It is time to jump in to some conspiracies. I have put dramatic music on, Michael. You can't hear it.
Oh.
But there was dramatic.
But it's dramatic.
There's dramatic music. But first, before we jump into conspiracies, this is something that I do not see enough of on the internet, because there's a lot of conspiracy people talking about conspiracies, not a lot of tinfoil hats. So we're gonna make some tinfoil hats. I have my Reynolds wrap. Reynolds wrap, the official sponsor of conspiracy theorists everywhere. Oh wait, how many feet do you have? 75?
75? 75.
75. I've got 130 square feet of
very good
Reynolds wrap. So in case you are, I gotta back up a little bit so you can see my head fully. In case you're following along at home, all you need to make a functioning conspiracy theory tinfoil hat is, here's the ingredients list. Are you ready? Tinfoil. And a little bit of an imagination. So, Uncle Neil would be proud.
Go too. Oh man. Which also they lost their anonymity, by the way. They started sharing data.
What?
Yeah, I think that was like
DuckDuckGo got bought out.
Let me double check.
By the Chinese. Now it's Ping Ping Jing. I'm gonna tell Noni.
I put in DuckDuckGo browser on my Bing, and it said there's no need to download a new web browser, and it has like the icon. That's funny.
Oh, from Bing. Bing's like, where are you going? What are you doing?
You don't need that.
You don't need to do that. Okay.
Privacy.
We could do ASMR tinfoil on the microphone.
Review 4 to 5. Maybe not. Maybe I got gaslit.
Let me take my hat off here. Gotta keep the brain. This is how I do it. You can do it however you want, but I go back to front. Okay. I go back to front and wrap towards the front. But
interesting.
I'm gonna try a new theory.
I was gonna use a template. Are we supposed to use
a template?
Yeah, this guy.
Oh no, I'm making just tinfoil. You should do that though. That's freaking way cooler than mine.
No, yours is.
I mean, I could use a template too.
Yours is probably more effective. That's what I'm saying.
I could also use a template. Okay, we're using templates, everybody. If you don't have one, you suck. I'm just kidding. That's a joke.
literally didn't have one like 5 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Didn't get enough tinfoil big enough for your. Oh man.
I don't know how to do this.
Bro, you're gonna be able to like.
Bro, I'm gonna
get all the news channels.
I'm gonna
with
be
that.
picking up signals all over the place, bro. Aliens are gonna start talking to me. I'm not even.
Here's hoping.
I'm not even fully in frame. Hold on, I gotta lower my seat. Nope, that's still not enough.
Dude, you look like a winged hussar. Looks fantastic.
We got to do little bits on the top.
Yeah, I gotta love the. This probably sucks for anybody listening.
Yeah, it's probably a terrible noise. Okay,
I can
okay,
mute myself for a
okay, okay. We need a piece for the top. You're muted.
I thought I hit the button. That's weird. Thank you. This is to stop 5G. Is that right?
Yes.
Even though the stereotype was before 5G, right?
You want to know something?
Huh.
Because I work in telecom now, I learned something about 5G. So there are 5G towers. They used to do small cell stuff. My company, and
they got Justin.
If you go up to the towers, like the radio frequency, like the radio towers, you can hear people talking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can hear people.
You're telling
talking.
me they're using ghosts to power it?
And apparently, wait, hey David, my work buddy David is staying over because he lives 3 hours away, and we are working 3 minutes away from the house.
Oh, very nice.
And I'm pretty sure while you're on the while you're near it, you have to be like kind of cautious, because if you start feeling like the taste of blood in your mouth or like stuff like that, you have to come down because it's bad for you.
Jeez.
Hold on, I gotta take this off so I can finish it. What's the deal with the 5G towers, the radio towers?
What's the deal?
Yeah, because like because you've been up near one, right?
Yeah.
They get, do they get hot, or what is it? So like, because there's a.
Yeah, it's like a microwave.
It's like a microwave. Yeah. So if you start feeling a little bit,
You have like a sour taste in your mouth, you should get that.
if you start tasting metal in your mouth, get down.
Yeah.
And you can hear people talking, right?
Everybody said they didn't, but when I was up there,
You can
I
hear.
heard people's
David
conversations.
is a. I'm getting, this is like firsthand experience right here.
Yeah. You got a local expert, dude.
He can
It's great.
hear. You can hear conversations.
So when people would drive by, if they're on their phones, it jumps to that cell tower.
Whoa,
And it would change from different conversations. I would hear the conversations change.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's tight.
That's real cool. Now I kind of want to hang out by a microwave 5G tower. All right, I think that's as much tinfoil as I'm going to use. Still can't see the full. Thank you, David. I think that's enough.
Sure. Yeah.
You used all the tinfoil, didn't you? No, I left some.
No.
Hold on. I don't even think I haven't even the tips. Hold on, I need 2 more pieces. How close are you?
Not as close as I want to be, but pretty close.
I'm not where I want to be, but I'm somewhere.
Moving there.
I don't know what monster you look like, but it's something.
Minotaur.
I am Attila the Hun, but conspiracy Attila.
There's a pun there. Hold on. Can't come up with a pun and make this thing at the same time.
All right.
Future episode.
Future. I had to sit down here so that my whole hat. I'm a meme. This is definitely meme material. Okay. I believe I'm ready. Are you about?
Almost there.
You about there?
Working on the horns.
I'll remind you of this later when your neck and back hurt. Yes, please do. Oh, I could just release the seat and then wait, lean back. Am I already leaned back? No. Go back, seat. There we go. I can just.
You're back.
There. I gotta put the chin strap on. Otherwise, they might get me. Yeah, this is for the 5G protection. If you do not use this whilst talking about conspiracies, you may contract.
You're liable.
Yeah. Have you contracted 5G while talking about conspiracies? You may be eligible for compensation. I look like I have a turkey on my head at this point, like a foil-wrapped turkey, and these are the legs. Oh, yeah, Michael.
Let's get it.
Oh, yeah, Michael, with the optic. Putting it down. All right.
All right, hold on. Staying up so I can read everything.
I wish I had somebody edit in electricity going between
I'll do that.
the tips. Okay. Oh yeah, I love that.
Yeah. That's for jamming enemy radar.
Jamming enemy counter UAV is in the air. All right. Again, Reynolds Wrap, a proud sponsor of this episode.
We're gonna get a cease and desist.
Yeah, they're like, please don't ever mention that again.
Guys, we got fan mail.
It's
the Reynolds Wrap.
So I'm assuming that you have a little bit more serious conspiracies to speak about.
I've got one that's hot off the press.
Hot off the press.
It's that I came up with it.
Yes, very much so sponsored. Hot off the press.
Hello, Heather. Welcome.
Hi, friends. Welcome in. You've joined Conspiracy Time. Hold on, let's put the music back on. The conspiracy music. All right. In a world full of misinformation, only two men can tell you what really is going on. And it's us. So
that's not us.
It's not us. Oh. Also wild that seeing Mike without glasses was weird, considering that's how we met him. Mike didn't used to wear glasses on the pod.
Yeah, no.
Glasses Mike is like a 2.4 update. We got DLC for Mike, and he got
you make
spectacles.
As I told J Bob, it makes my vibe make a lot more sense.
Yes. All right.
Of course, the helmet is just exactly what you're getting.
Yes, the helmet actually is a better indicator of the vibe. All right, so I'll start.
Yeah.
I don't know much about this conspiracy. I heard it said by someone else. Sad news.
Sorry,
Foxy went to heaven today, but it was her time. Heather, wait, hold on. Let me turn off this intense music. Heather, I apologize. I am glad that Foxy is in a better place now. We love.
Dude, I can't with the helmet. I can't.
It's hard to be serious, and I'm trying so hard.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Hold on.
her and Reggie
Time out.
are frolicking.
Yeah,
I can't
so
take
sorry
this
about
off because
your
it'll
loss.
take too long to put it back on again. But we're very
sorry
sorry
about
for
your
your
loss.
loss, Heather. We are here for you anytime. Okay. Here we go. So this wasn't my I didn't come up with this, but I heard it and I thought, that's an interesting thing to think. And this was, like I said, I don't know much about this. This was one I could not find in my like 3 minutes of research. I could not find anything about this, so it's not a very popular conspiracy, if it is one. But it was that how many people are in the world? Like 5 billion or something? 3 billion?
I want to say 8 billion.
8 billion? Hey Siri, how many people are in the world?
It was estimated to have exceeded 8 billion inches November 2022.
Wait,
All right, 8 billion in November of 2022. The conspiracy is that there's not 8 billion.
Oh, okay.
The conspiracy is that there's significantly less people, and because how would they know? You think every government is just putting in how many people they have, and why would you tell somebody exactly how many people you have? You know what I mean?
Right.
Seems like not a very good strategic plan. I don't know what the end game of not telling how many people you have in your country or in the world. Like, maybe it's something to do with what's that? The Bill Gates guy is on it.
Overpopulation.
Overpopulation. He's like, there's too many people. There's 8 billion people on the planet, and I kind of agree. I'm like, it doesn't seem plausible that we still use the census, and Jesus used the census. So you're telling me in that amount of time we haven't figured out a better way to count people? And maybe I'm wrong, but what are your thoughts? Do you 8 billion people, not 8 billion people, more people? Maybe it's more.
That's interesting.
We should do roll call.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
I don't know what the benefit would be in. Oh, well. Well, I would say like pump up your numbers if you're worried about being invaded.
Sure.
Maybe. Which I could see some countries doing that. Also, a census is just a record of how many people are around. It's not the same bureau the whole time, or maybe it is.
No, it's
doing the same census. Like counting?
Yeah. Same tech. 1,
No.
2, 3. We've been doing it for.
Let's count.
You think you're telling me somebody counted to 8 billion? I don't think so. I don't.
They're hiding that person from the rest of the world.
I don't have that many fingers.
Case and point.
It can't be done.
That's interesting. Because realistically, to your point, the more accurate it should be nowadays is the more we rely on tech to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And somebody could be fudging the
like
numbers.
Bill Gates. Yeah. Saying we are going to have overpopulation.
He's like, listen, we have, and next year it's going to be 9 billion. And we're like, how do we even get that many? How do we do that?
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't have much on that one. Like I said, there was not a whole, I don't think it's an official theory that's had a lot of research done about it, but I did hear somebody talk about it, and I was like, that is interesting.
And if our voting system is anything to go on an indication of, this is for political redistricting. Yes. Yeah. It's people in power to stay in power, man.
Yeah. There it is. There's the conspiracy right there. It's just
Interesting.
It's just the rich trying to stay richer.
Trying to think if there's any positive to like underselling it. Like, oh no, we have less than we actually have. Other than just, I could see some systems not counting some people as people.
Possibly, yes.
But
You're telling me they counted
Interesting.
everybody in India? I don't think so.
is it weird that I thought India too?
I
was
don't
thinking
think so.
India too.
They have so many people there. Maybe most of them are there. Okay. So that was just one to get us going, get us in the
Sure,
spirit
I like it.
of the conspiracy. Here's one, somewhat hot off the presses. Maybe this is the same one as you, but there was a lady who was interviewed and talked about, I can't remember in what capacity of leadership she held or what she was exactly, but it's on the internet if you look it up. But she's talking about underground cities being made in the U.S. By the elite as like a doomsday fallout bunker type thing that are like fully functional cities that I've even heard people talk about that they're like much more advanced cities, like they have better everything. Probably way less than because of the NPCs. But she, I feel like this is not a new conspiracy that there's like underground cities and whatnot. But this lady was like coming out and being like, there are underground cities. Now, the last time I saw someone say something, you were like, that person's a comedian. This lady did not look like a comedian.
I mean, they said they were a comedian. I didn't say it.
Okay, well,
I just pointed it out.
Well, this lady does not look like a comedian. So I looked up this conspiracy, and I'll read you a brief summary of it, and then we can talk about said
I like this one.
Underground cities. Have you heard? Did you see the video?
I haven't seen the video, but this is close to another conspiracy I know of.
Okay. Underground city conspiracy theories in the U.S. generally revolve around the idea of secret hidden facilities or networks beneath the surface, often linked to governments or elite control, or population or preparation. For catastrophic events. These are some themes that the bunkers may be made. But elite doomsday bunkers claim. This is a claim. Secret underground cities or bunkers have been built by the government or wealthy elite to survive catastrophic events like nuclear war or global pandemic. Purpose: to prevent the elite and their power, potentially at the expense of the general population. Example: claims of vast underground bunker networks funded by trillions of dollars intended for ultra wealthy. Or there's government control and secret projects. Claim: underground bases are used for secret government projects, experiments, and or to monitor and control the population. And then number 3, I'm sure there's more, but this is number 3. Alien interaction or collaboration. Claim: underground facilities house extraterrestrial beings or are used for collaboration projects between humans and aliens, which is crazy.
So crazy it might be true.
So crazy it might just work. And then I find it odd that Google says, important note, these are conspiracy theories and lack evidence to support their claims, often arise from misinformation, speculation, and distrust of authority. Sounds like something someone would say if they were trying to hide something, if you ask me.
That's unfortunately definitely something they would say if they were trying to hide something. also something they would say if it wasn't true,
Yes.
which is the catch-22. Two things. One, this is very similar to the idea. This is connected to the Denver airport,
Yeah.
like almost beat by beat. Like people think that the Denver airport has these kind of post-apocalyptic infrastructure. Also, I'm not saying this isn't true at all.
Yes.
I'm just pointing out that this is the plot to every Fallout game.
Yes.
Doesn't mean it's not true. I've heard lizard people live under the... Yep, exactly.
I heard from a cousin of my dad's, would be my second cousin, I think, that there are secret underground tunnels, and the wealthy and the elite do child sacrifice down there, which is crazy.
So speaking of conspiracy theories, there's so many conspiracy theories that are like normalized.
Yeah.
Actually, and okay, there's so much to talk about right here. Okay, there's so many conspiracy theories that are normalized. Being the definition of a conspiracy is one or two or more people collaborating to break the law, right?
Yes.
So Caleb mentioned something, which is something America absolutely does, is political redistricting, which is, I don't think, technically illegal, but it's definitely immoral in a lot of situations. And historically has been used to keep people down. And is also, by definition, a conspiracy.
Yeah.
So I just don't... We have that... And then we have the Epstein thing, which also I heard about Epstein 10 years before that.
Really?
And there was no name for it. There was just a conspiracy that there's a bunch of elites that go to an island and do what the elites were doing to children at that island. Thought it was kind of crackpot, but I put it in my, you never know category. And then 10 years later, the whole thing blows up. So this is irritating to me whenever somebody's like, oh, that's a conspiracy theory. First of all, that's what they want you to think.
Yeah.
And secondly, you believe in conspiracy theories. Conspiracies have happened.
Yeah, sheep.
It's crazy.
These sheep out here.
Gulf of Tonkin was a conspiracy.
Uh-huh.
Come on,
so,
man. Sorry.
Back when we were working at Walmart, Walmart, we made up a funny little conspiracy that all of the Walmarts in the United States are connected by secret tunnels. This came about because we would be walking through Walmart and you would hear hollow spots in the floor. Like you'd be walking and it just wouldn't sound... It sounded like there was something underneath you. Secret tunnels.
Secret tunnel.
Yeah, secret tunnel.
Yep.
But to my understanding of Walmart, there's not a basement to Walmart. And we've been around Walmart quite a bit. Like we've been to the back, we've been, all of these places. I have yet to see a hatch or a door or whatever that goes into a basement of Walmart. So why the hollow spots?
Okay, that's interesting. You came up with that theory?
I don't know if I did, but I mean, I don't know if I was the first one, but while we were working there, we walked across a part of the floor and it was hollow sounding, and we were like, all of the Walmarts are connected by secret tunnels. And then we were like, wait a minute.
Okay, that's really interesting, because that is a conspiracy, but that's not the conspiracy I know doesn't use the evidence that you did. So that's really interesting to me, because let's say a friend of ours' mother really got into this conspiracy, and it has to do with Walmart buying like ungodly amounts of tunneling equipment, like had the icon on there and everything.
Really?
Yeah. So I mean, could have been Photoshopped. I don't know. I haven't
unaware.
seen the photos.
I didn't realize
But
this
that's
was
a
an
huge
actual.
conspiracy.
I didn't realize this was an actual thing. I just thought we made it up.
That's really interesting.
No, because I've been walking through Walmarts, and it's not like in the main floor, right? It's not like where
Okay.
you're normally.
It's in the back.
It's not where you're normally walking. You would be walking like through a random aisle in like cake decorating or whatever. Because like when we were working there, we're working in the TLE, so if we had to go into Walmart, we had to walk through all of those aisles that like aren't frequented very often. And my theory is that like, why would you put the tunnel in the main drag of the Walmart? Because then people would get suspicious. You put it in places where most people are not walking, and or the people that are walking there, no one's going to believe them anyway because they're getting arts and crafts.
Yeah.
So, but I walked.
That's really interesting.
But we walked across the Walmart floor, and it was like you could hear. It sounded like you were walking in a house that had a crawl space. You know what I'm saying?
Welcome, Sexy Bigfoot.
Sexy Bigfoot, welcome in.
Be enlightened.
Brother Sexy Bigfoot, welcome.
Welcome.
So yeah, that is the underground city thing. I'll have to try and find the video and put it in the Discord of the lady talking about it. But she, it was very arts and crafts thing. It seemed very official. However, I also I'm not going to say that it was because it's the internet. So it's like, you know.
Yeah. You can just say it with confidence.
Yeah, you could just say anything with confidence. It's not, I will say this, it's not like a TikTok where she's like recording herself. It's like an actual interview. However, that doesn't mean jack. But
How's your neck?
oh, it's doing great.
I just wanted to check.
Wow! They're trying to take my protection. You see that? They're trying to lift you right. They're trying to lift you right off of my head.
Okay, interesting. That's
So underground,
might have to look into that more.
underground cities. As much as I'm like, why would they? I mean, I get I get Fallout bunkers, but like the way that she talked about it, it was like a whole civilization.
Sure.
Underground.
It wasn't Hollow Earth, right?
I don't think
that's another.
I don't
that's
think it was the
very
Hollow
similar.
Earth theory.
Okay.
But maybe it's maybe in conjunction with the Hollow Earth theory.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
A lot of conspiracy theories kind of tie into each other.
Yeah, I feel like
from time to time.
it's all the red lines. You know, it's like, ooh, all of it's coming together. You know, Walmart has secret tunnels that, I mean, because listen, if you're underground, maybe Walmart hasn't put a store underground yet. You need to use the little secret tunnels to go to Walmart.
Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Excuse me. Man, I'm trying to remember where I heard this.
Thank you.
I saw a
Sexy
video
Bigfoot.
of somebody talking about how in LA there's tunnels for like the rich and famous to get around LA without having to deal with people.
Oh.
And they have like, I don't know about gas stations, but definitely, there we go.
Tunnels in the stores.
Starbucks apparently is like, they have a few of
Starbucks?
them down there.
Starbucks are now, maybe the Starbucks are linked. Maybe it's not just one store. Maybe it's multiple stores all linked together.
Maybe. I think the fat electrician went on talking about how Starbucks is getting away with, essentially they have their own bank because people will buy gift cards for Starbucks, right?
Yeah.
If you get a gift card, most people, when they get to like under $1, they forget about it,
Yeah.
right? That dollar belongs to Starbucks,
Yeah.
right? So they have this huge accumulation of wealth that
Reserve,
is never
yeah.
going to be spent. But I'm trying to I'm trying to remember if he talked about some sort of connection that they have.
Interesting.
Can't remember. So I'm not going to say for sure. But yeah, So the LA one, there's a lot of people who believe that one.
Yeah.
And apparently a lot of people from Starbucks have come forward and said, like, yeah, it's down there, but it's not that big of a deal.
The Starbucks people are saying that it's down there.
People claiming to have worked at the Starbucks.
Okay, I think the next thing we need to do is both get jobs at Starbucks to see if this is real or not.
Actually, I know somebody who is in Starbucks and pretty high up in management.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I might ask them.
Where's the tunnel?
Interesting. Right. They work in Oklahoma, so it's like...
Yeah, there ain't no tunnels in Oklahoma.
They're like, we don't have to tunnel. Like, the only reason we tunnel is if... Well, to save money on tornadoes, but... yeah. Interesting.
Okay. Give me one of yours. What do you got?
Let me double check on it. Okay, so...
Starbucks didn't hire me because I said I was a Christian? Dang. That's discrimination. They're not allowed to not hire you for that.
I mean, yeah. Did you also bring a gun to the interview?
Hire me!
Let's see. So, this one requires a little bit of backstory.
Okay.
Apparently, insurances in California have created a caveat for their insurance coverage. And I think this was within the last 20 years. So not exactly recent and not exactly groundbreaking.
Yeah.
But the caveat was any... Man, I heard about this so long ago. Any man-made natural disasters weren't covered by insurance, right? So I think with that, the indication was maybe fracking and earthquakes.
Yeah.
Back then. But apparently they made one specifically for
fires.
What do you call it? No, which I mean, we've seen the stuff with the fires, but with stuff in the atmosphere.
Oh.
So the implication is that if it's a storm that was caused by men or man-made storm, it won't be covered, right? Maybe they're just covering their butts, whatever.
So,
but we do know cloud seeding is a thing.
The admission of man-made storms.
Right. Which cloud seeding is a thing. I can't remember the chemical you shoot up into the air, but it creates clouds. And they've made giant, it looks like almost moving buildings where they're just pumping this stuff up and it makes rain clouds.
Huh.
And that's on like Discovery Channel. That's very out in the open.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you've heard of like, even back in when Bush was in office, a lot of people said that Bush was responsible for Katrina because of DARPA, right?
Yeah.
Like
too many artificial
you've
storms.
heard that?
No, but yes.
Yeah. No, you haven't heard that?
Okay.
That was a old conspiracy that DARPA has this weird way they can control weather, and and so the idea is to use it for politics or for
political gain.
This takes so much explanation. Political gain. But literally back in the 70s, there was a project to figure out if we could use, we could somehow control weather to essentially use for military purposes, right?
Wait! I'm not protected!
Justin! Careful.
Don't say anything.
I'm not.
Okay, I'm ready.
I'll tell you're covered, bro.
I'm covered.
Get your protection on. So, allegedly, they couldn't find any way to control the weather, so they stopped the project. But the government was trying to control the weather back in the 70s, at least.
So here's my thought: is because controlling the weather is out in the open, right?
Sort of.
Sort
Yeah.
of, kind of out in the open.
Sort of.
What are they hiding?
Here's
Because
the thing. What they're claiming they can do
yeah,
is not like hurricane level. It's like you could have we're just putting up a cloud and somewhere down the line, it's like a hot air balloon. Somewhere down the line in that direction, rain's gonna happen.
why
Right?
don't they be shooting those things out over the desert or places that
It
need
is
water?
It is expensive.
Your mom's expensive,
It's
but I
fair.
still buy her.
You damn straight. Expensive is what would be the counter to that.
Sure.
So we have in the 70s they were working on this. In the early 2000s to mid 2010s, we have the insurances stepping back what they're responsible for.
Yeah.
Right? Legally. Also, always follow the money. If you freaking follow the money, it's weird to me that the insurance would specify that. So unfortunately, recently we've had what is the program? It's a government program that sends weather balloons up in the air to gather data. Has been defunded quite a bit. So they can't afford as many launches, and it's independent from the government.
Yeah.
Other than I guess grants.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the grant money's been taken away. That right there leads me to wonder if that just opened up a huge possibility for them to now control the weather.
Yeah.
Because you don't have more independent people checking on weather patterns.
They got rid of they're trying to buy out all the weather people. The weather people.
And before you say, Michael, it's because you're a liberal. This is not because I'm a liberal. It's because I'm a meteorologist.
I wasn't going to say that, but you're dang right. Michael is my one and only source for the weather.
That reminds me, I should probably put you on my shortcut weather app so I can be like, hey, Justin.
Yeah, I just get text alerts. It's going to rain today. Thanks, Mike. Hold on. What if they can control the weather?
What if they can control the weather?
What is the implication? What's the end result if they can control weather?
Well, I just think it's weird that Tampa got hit by the same hurricane 3 times.
It did be circling around, huh?
It'd be circling around for no good reason.
Here's my thing.
Yeah.
And use it to their advantage, yeah. For some reason. I don't think it's just for any reason. I think that it's all for political / financial gain.
Yeah. Was going to the ability to destroy crops, exactly, which was threatened with the India-Pakistan kerfuffle that happened. That got solved recently, I think. But India owns the water rights to a river in between Pakistan and India.
Yeah.
That is responsible for 80% of Pakistan's agriculture. So why you be killing people if they can control that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
But the ultimate power of controlling the weather is getting to decide what you want to use it for. Let's see. I was going to say something, but I can't remember. Yep, I don't remember. Which is crazy because all my thoughts should be concealed by this aluminum foil.
Insurance companies need to allocate surplus of money they get so no one gets suspicious.
Oh, it was about insurance companies.
That'd be nice.
Here's the thing that I hate about insurance companies, that they can be like, oh, we're not covering that.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh,
absolute bullcrap.
I thought I paid you monthly so that you would cover stuff. Yeah. Like, if I have house insurance and my house is gone,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Say I've had house insurance for 15 years with the same company, okay? I pay $400 a month. I don't know how much house insurance is. And I've even owned a house. I have no idea. It just came out. $400. We'll say, I don't think it's that much. I think it's less. Never made a claim. Never made a claim, right? You have given the insurance company thousands of dollars at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then your house gets burnt down, and they're like, that was man-made weather that burnt that down. We can't cover. It's like, where's all that money? Where's that money I gave you? What do you mean? That's
then
my
you
money.
Can't disprove that too. You can't disprove, like, the government's not going to let you disprove that. Or prove it, you know?
Yeah, and insurance is a scam. I'm convinced. But you have
That's
to have
actually
it.
a huge thing. Because then they could just say... So, have you heard the horror stories of the Patriot Act? Because you can ask for... Well, okay, so from the people being scammed, you can ask for, like, anything the government's ever done. They are supposed to have records on it, and they, because of the Patriot Act, are, like, essentially mandated to give it to you.
Yeah.
If you... Freedom of Information Act, not the Patriot Act. Freedom of Information Act. The dirty thing they're doing is, like, printing off what they're supposed to. And charging you, like, hundreds of thousands of dollars to do it.
To give you the information that you should be getting for free?
Well, nobody said how much the information should cost, but you have a right to the information. But they can then charge you out the bum to give you the information.
But if you have a right to the information, shouldn't it be free?
You would think so. But then they're saying, like, it's administrative. For us to print this off, it costs $10,000.
No, it doesn't.
Or hundreds of thousands of
How
dollars.
about you send me the file on my email, and I'll print it off on my Epson?
Right? They're like, we don't have an email for this. It's not scanned.
Of course.
But this happened to a writer who was doing stuff on the CIA. And that's how they got him.
Interesting.
But I believe her publishing people were like, we will foot the bill. This is an indication they don't want you to know this information. Yeah.
They kind of make themselves suspicious.
Little bit.
What's your fun fact?
So there's another free well, I guess free conspiracy. How much it costs to get the Freedom of Information rights.
It's kind of in the name, freedom, you know, free. Can't spell freedom without free. But it ain't free. But it is.
Right.
But it should be. But it ain't.
But it do.
But it is, but what
But
it
it
is. But it is.
Oh man.
All right, I'm gonna do one more, and then you can do one more if you have one that you'd like.
I've got a short one we can do.
I've got a pretty short one as well. Another one that I found pretty interesting. Netflix re-releasing movies on Netflix and then taking parts out of the movies. And at first you might be like, so what? They took out like a scene to make a time thing happen. But I say, on the contrary, Psalm 53, I think you mean Isaiah 53. I have two examples, and I'm sure there's many. Maybe there was a Psalm 53. This is why I collect Blu-rays. The Passion of the Christ was released on Netflix in 2022 or 2021. However, the original version of The Passion of the Christ featured a scripture at the very beginning. It was Isaiah 53:5, I believe. And now, when you watch it on Netflix, it's just 10 seconds of blank screen. They've taken that part out.
My goodness.
And you might be like, well, that's... So they hate Christians. No, they don't. Well, maybe they do. I have no idea. This is my second movie that I can confirm. And this one's a little bit more interestinger. the Robin Hood movie with Russell Crowe. There is a quote at the beginning of the movie that is put in like Old English writing. They've removed it, so it's literally just a blank. It looks like it's like paper, but it should be written on. It's blank for another 10 seconds. The quote is, "In times of tyranny and injustice, when law oppresses the people, the outlaw takes his place in history." That has been removed, and you're like, that's interesting. However, it's only removed in the American version. Only in America is that part removed. Canada has it.
Good Lord.
Everywhere else has that part except for America, which seems a little sketchy. And then as I was doing research,
Very sketch.
when you look up like Netflix removed scene Robin Hood, Robin Hood, a lot of articles or a lot of Q&A from Netflix, right? It's articles that Netflix has put out or answers that Netflix has put out, or you click on like the Google answer for it. You know how like Google will just like give you an answer. It's like Netflix doesn't actually change anything. The producers, the movie people that send the movie in, just send in the movie and Netflix just plays it, which might be true, but still begs the question: why are we removing stuff like that from movies? And if they're removing things like that from movies, what else are they removing? The digital, this digital thing where they can just take stuff and make it whatever they want is kind of crazy to me.
Very concerning.
Yeah.
Man, this. So I heard about the Robin Hood one. Passion of the Christ, I had not heard about. To the point of the Passion of the Christ of like they send in, or the studio sends in what they can play, right? There's no studio behind the Passion of the Christ. It was a independent movie.
Sure.
So there shouldn't be anybody
cutting anything. And why, if there was a studio sending in that movie, or whoever owns the movie, why would they cut out that part of the movie? Why would they cut that part out?
I mean, it seems obvious that they want to cut it out because it's Christian.
The whole movie is. I mean, it's not like because I took out the beginning of the movie, now I've taken the Christian message out of the movie. It's the whole thing is very. It's Jesus.
They're taking whatever they can.
Sure.
You know, any inch they can take. The Robin Hood one, I had heard about. Man, Passion of the Christ. Just to put a bow tie on that one, that was crazy to me.
And it's not even. Did you look up the verse?
No, I didn't look up.
It's not even. Here, I'll read it for you here. It's not even like they removed it because it seems like rhetoric or like it's edgy.
Hate speech.
Yeah, it's not. It's literally so Isaiah 53:5. But he was pierced for our transgressions, he was crushed for our iniquities, and punished. And the punishment that has brought us peace was on him, and by his wounds we are healed. It doesn't seem like something that's like controversial, you know?
Yeah. There's a theory that explains that, but we cannot talk about that theory. But I gotta watch what I say on this one. Okay. I know there's people out there who would want that taken out of it because of the. I'm gonna stop there.
No, you have to keep going.
But I can't. I don't want us to get pulled.
I don't think we will.
Man, the Robin Hood one is so, because Robin Hood is like, that's one of the few British things that Americans even care about.
Yeah.
Like Robin Hood and the Beatles. So the fact that they're saying, or by doing this, they're implying that it's not good to take the law into your own hands whenever there's corruption. Man, that's just. Also, who would do that? Because it's so blatant and out there.
And they didn't even cut that part of the movie out. It's just a blank screen.
Yeah, it's a blank screen. It's insane.
You could have edited that part out and then it would never even existed. However, they didn't edit it out. They just
Didn't even do that.
They just took the words out, but left the background.
So weird. So weird.
All right.
I would, if I was a government official, I would want to get to the bottom of that.
It seems
or
suspicious.
Government official in power.
Yeah.
I would want to get to the bottom of that.
What's give me your last one.
Real quick, before Google has said they've never changed search results. And everybody who's on the internet knows that's not true.
Yeah.
If you YouTube, which Google owns YouTube now, right?
I think so.
Yeah. If you YouTube Snow White, the new Snow White, right? Because I was trying to find some information on that. YouTube will give you like the trailers.
Yeah.
And then some people talking about it, like maybe 2 videos of people talking about it. And then they will go right into not advertise. This is no ads. This is just a suggested, because you searched Snow White flopping. I didn't even search that. I searched Snow White. I want to say it gave 6 video recommendations and then said, because of your search, you might like the Fantastic Four trailer. So literally both owned by Disney, and them saying, hey, don't pay attention to what we did wrong. Look at something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Google owns everyone. Yeah, no kidding. So there you go.
Snow White movie was a big flop.
Huge. Star Wars Episode 3 re-release blew it out of the water.
Yeah. And
it's crazy.
This is a movie that everyone has on DVD.
Yeah. Indeed. Does that wrap up our conspiracy episode?
I believe it does. Unless we may revisit conspiracies or have a small segment.
We still have more.
We have more. We may have a conspiracy segment. I don't know if I can wear my helmet for an entire episode again. This thing,
even this, I can't imagine.
This thing is so heavy. Tiring. It's like 40 pounds of helmet.
That's nuts.
Now that it's safe, you can remove your garb.
Gonna start floating.
Yeah. Whoa, I'm going up. But yeah, thanks everybody for being here. That was
so glad to have you.
Our conspiracy episode. If you're not on the Discord already, !Discord should get you an invite, and if not, that's too bad. I think everybody that's in here, it didn't work. But if you have a conspiracy that you like or that you enjoy, please put it in I'm pretty sure we have a conspiracy tab.
Oh yeah.
Put it in there. We want to hear about it. I want to hear your best conspiracies. But thank you guys for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for chatting. Are we after partying, Michael?
That's a good question. You have something in mind?
Repo.
I can't for too long.
Repo's easy.
Okay.
And I think we've already started a repo match. I don't think we're starting at ground zero.
Okay. I can do repo for a minute.
Do a couple rounds of that. Sure. All right. So we'll do after party for a little bit. I'm not going to be on for very long either. We'll probably do an hour. But thanks everybody for being here. Love you, mean it. Stay hydrated. Stay hammered. Stay healthy. We'll see you next time. Peace. Oops, wrong button.
Uh-oh.
Let me hit this one.